There you go.
Yes. Say again, what are you asking me, Tasma?
Do you know this breed, Rottweiler?
A Rottweiler. I don't know, but I find out the meaning. I think the Rottweiler is one kind of dog, is it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They're very good at protecting your house. So if I share
Mhm.
my screen, I'll just show you. That's what they're like. That's what she was like.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that they stop people from coming in your house. She didn't have a tail because she was quite old.
Rottweiler. I don't know in
Rottweiler.
India available or not.
Oh yeah, you'd know. But I'm going to get another little puppy for the summer. I'll get another little puppy, and yeah, because I like to have one in my house. It stops people from coming in. You can tell they're not going to argue with this. Yeah, and my other dog, the one that I have, is a German Shepherd. So yeah, you have two of these together. The one
Uh,
that's in my office is a German Shepherd.
German
No
Shepherd.
one's
Mhm.
yeah. No one's going to come in your house if you have these two dogs.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll get another one. Okay, let me just stop this share again. So what have you been up to this week? I haven't seen you for a week because of
Yes, yes.
having a bad time.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
have you been doing?
Yes, I think that's normal. Everyday work, come back home.
Yeah. Uh, are you allowed to go and visit your family yet? Will you be
Yes,
allowed
yes.
to go back?
Can I think today onwards. Today is 28. Tomorrow onwards, can go back and come back without. I think
Ah,
without restriction, without quarantine. Without quarantine.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, brilliant. So do you think are you planning to go?
April. I plan to go next year. April.
Ah, okay. Not until April. Oh, wow, that's a long while.
Yes, yes. I would like to start my small business. Then together I want to go to India.
Ah, so if you start a small business, do you want to stay
No,
in India
only
and
my
not
brother
come
will
back to
take care.
Singapore?
My brother will take care. So
Uh-huh.
that's what I just want to. When they're starting the business, I will be there for take care some ideas how to settle, how to do the business. It's a restaurant.
Right. Oh,
Mm,
a restaurant.
yes, yes.
Oh, lovely. Well, I do hope um, that everything works and that you can get there in April and there's not another wave or another this or another. Do you know what I mean? Um, there are so many different people saying, oh, there's going to be this happening or that happening. You know what I mean? So I really hope that everything still continues to be okay and you can actually go and see your family. That'd be great for you.
Yes.
I also sent you a worksheet. You were talking about doing maybe some pronunciation
Yes,
and
yes.
maybe some vocabulary.
Mm.
So what I did was I sent you the worksheet, which might be good for us to do some vocabulary. I don't know. Would you like, and there's some reading in it. So I thought this might be useful to do as well.
But
What would you like to start with? Would you like to start with the worksheet or maybe would you like to look at some
please start the
pronunciation?
yes worksheet. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Let me just put this in your notes then.
Birth
So,
or upbringing. What is
yeah,
the meaning
birth or
of
upbringing.
upbringing?
Right.
Up,
Now, birth, you know what birth means,
birth I
right?
know. Give birth.
Your upbringing, where and how you were brought up, is another way of saying it. It talks about how you were raised as a child. So when you were a child, sorry, that should be were brought up. When you were a child, what school did you go to? What did your parents teach you to do? Yeah, it's all that kind of thing. Were your parents kind to you? So how you were brought up, or is it just when or where you're born that contributes to how successful you are? That's what this particular worksheet is all about. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So if we look at the warm-up for this in question 1, and there is some pronunciation actually in this sheet, so it's probably a good thing. How might these factors influence the person's career choice where you come from? So could you read each of those points? Oh,
How
sorry,
might the
my dog
following
my dog
factors
is just
influence a
going to get
person's
fed. So
career choice in your country? Assess how might the following factors influence a person's career choice in your country?
yeah.
Gender, career advice received at school, access to education, career choices of family members, personality, religion, or culture.
So for me, access to education in the UK is pretty universal, but our politicians, for example, all go to what we call public school. And public school isn't public school. Public school in the UK public school is private school, not state school. And all our politicians tend to come from the same very expensive schools, that kind of thing. So your education might influence whether you can become a politician or you're going to be a scientist, that kind of thing. Yeah. If you go to Cambridge University or Oxford University, you're more likely to get a job as a scientist. If you don't go to Oxford and Cambridge, you're less likely to. So what about access to education in India? Is it very different for different people?
Access to education. Education is free in India. I think the free education is available in the school or some colleges also. Government education is free. Government education,
Okay.
government school and school is
State
until,
school,
yes,
yeah.
the school is until higher secondary is free. Maybe you join when you join the university from government is always free. Maybe in the university maybe you need to pay some money. Not
Ah,
expensive, but if you are the good student, you have the easy to join college or university or any other institute. But if you are not good student, if you don't have the merit and mark, it is difficult to upgrade yourself.
so you
But
can get something like a scholarship maybe to pay your
yes,
fees, yeah, or some sort of grant if you're a good student, but if you're not, it can be expensive.
yes.
Okay.
If you are the good student, money no matter. You can study well. The opportunity is there. If you are not a good student, maybe you want to pay. If you are not good student, then you need to get your application to admit, need to pay money. Maybe they
Yeah.
need to go to private college or university, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
know it is in
yes, but
America.
the
Yeah.
problem where you live, maybe the nearby universe, you can everywhere have the until higher secondary only. If you choose university, you need to move to another city. So
Ah,
you need to stay home, rent the room, and study there. Or this is some difficulties. You need money if you want to go to stay other place and study. Sure need money.
yeah. In the UK, the more money you have, the better education you have. State education is okay, but it's not great. You
Mhm.
can. I had a state education, but it was a lot better when I was a girl. Nowadays, it's not so good. Um, Did you get any career advice at school? Like we had these career advisors who were absolutely useless that said I should be an artist. I do like drawing, but you don't earn a lot of money as an artist.
Yes, it's this all I forgotten because I have forgotten because I long time in the school. I completed my school. I have completed my school 1992. I school my education only school level. The teachers always taught advice, but our mind is never listened.
I
I,
finished school in
yes, I
1986.
never believe in education when I was child. Because the movie, because the period of the time when I was young, the movie, because we always follow the movie, the hero always say, I educated but no job. So study no use. So I also think if after the study nothing change, but that is something a stupid thing. But education not for job or career. Education for improve yourself, not for you
Yeah.
have job or no job, no matter. But the movie created some bad things. So some heroes, the character, when they talk, they say, hey, I am the degree holder, I have no job, what is the country?
So
So
it
I
stopped
follow the
people.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So my mindset, after study also no use, what for we study, I think like that. But now
Yeah.
yes, now I feel I would have been study well.
Are you able to, when you're older in
Mm.
India, can you study at university now?
Have
I
some
could study.
opportunities there, yes. Some yeah, afternoon schools or afternoon, some still have opportunity.
Yeah.
Everything possible if you try.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Because I only had a high school education.
yes,
I loved computers, especially to do with music, and I liked art. I'm quite a creative person. I was good at writing, but I
yes,
loved computer programming.
yes,
No
yes,
one was doing degrees like that in computer programming. So I got a job in computing without having a university qualification. I went to university when I was 28, when it's like, well, actually, I really should get a degree in this subject now. I've been doing some
yes, yes,
programming
yes.
for a long
I
while. So
think
I was older.
yes, yeah, opportunity always there, but what do you want? This is the
Yeah.
question. If you really want anything, yeah, opportunity is there. If you want to learn anything, you can learn, and you can study, or you want to become a master degree or PhD, everything can. But if you have interest, you can achieve many, because our president, Abdul Kalam, born in poor family. So
Oh, that's cool.
he's a scientist. He was a scientist. He find out he's the one, the research about the nuclear bomb, everything.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he is a scientist. I think how to say, I think few year ago, I think 10 year ago, they research about the nuclear, maybe they, how to say that, the bomb blasting and test the nuclear, how
Ah,
to
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, the
I don't know.
test. You're right. No, testing. You
Testing
it's
is it?
right. Yeah.
Nuclear
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah.
He's the one.
Absolutely.
He's the one did this thing, but without the America knowing, because the American satellite when across the India, he everything calculate, then move the material. Because when you do something, America sure find out, but this
Oh,
case
yeah.
they can't find out, because he everything calculate, American satellite, what time reach there, what time cannot reach, and move
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
nuclear tests. He did the nuclear test. After that, the government asked, appoint him a president. His name is, you can find out, Abdul Kalam. He is a poet and
Abdul
scientist also.
Kalam.
Mm.
Abdul Kalam. Let's
Abdul
go to.
Kalam. He made many quotes also. Abdul Kalam. But he never
Oh,
married.
yeah.
He born in poor family. When he studied in the school, he walking many kilometers, 12 kilometers, 13 kilometers. He walked
Oh yeah, Indian aerospace. Yeah, studied physics and aerospace engineering. Yeah, yeah.
and he aerospace and he do one good thing. He do what nuclear test. Maybe this is bad for world, but he do one good things. Disability people. I think the people they don't have the leg. Is it? He used the leg. They making the steel leg. He used the aircraft material when they aircraft
Ah,
when they fabric because the aircraft fabricate the aircraft material is lightweight. He used this material to make the how to call this the leg. If the leg don't have, you create the
so
making the
if you
leg.
don't have any leg, we call it the proper name is a prosthetic. Hang on, prosthetic leg.
Yes, yes.
So it's
Yeah,
yeah,
prosthetic leg. Mm.
I've got him on here because it says he's known as the Missile Man of India.
Yes, yes. Missile Man
Um,
of India. Yes,
and it talks about India's Pokhran 2 nuclear tests in
yes.
1998.
He beginning his career as a scientist.
The people's president. Yeah, he sounds really cool, actually. Oh, but he's died.
Yes.
Oh, no. No, that he sounds like because a lot of our like Boris Johnson, for example, our leaders, they have
Mm.
come from a rich family and they go to a private school and they go to Oxford or Cambridge. Do you know what I mean? And most of our politicians are very, very rich, like in America. Joe Biden is extremely rich. Donald Trump, very rich. His dad
Businessman
was very
Donald
rich.
Trump.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Joe Biden activities, I think nobody like. He very old or what? Nothing active. Trump every
A
day
lot
come
of
and
people
give
don't like him.
interview. Trump, good or not, good or bad, but he every day appear to media. We
I
talk.
like Donald
I
Trump because
like
he
Trump.
was,
Yes.
yeah, me too. Because he just was what he was.
I
He
think
said what he
he is
thought.
a very honest man. He
Yes.
never hide anything. He
No.
disclose
And
everything. Mm.
if you don't like it, don't vote for him.
Yes,
Real simple. But Joe Biden is sort of a bit
yes, yes,
sneaky
yes.
and he isn't
Yes,
honest. Yeah, I
yes,
don't
yes.
like him at all. And I think the Americans don't like him. Most
Now don't like.
Americans don't like
Maybe
him.
now they
Yeah.
don't know. Because now only they realize because he never do any action against China. So this is
No, China gave him money. That's the big scandal, isn't it?
maybe he get money
Yeah,
from China. That is very bad future for America. If he never control China in future, America is he lose his power. American lose.
absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, China is a place to be scared of,
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
Um, that I've learned. So I'll have to tell Charlie about Abdul Kalam because I've learned a whole load of stuff now. I've got him open on Wikipedia. I'm going to leave him there for the time being. That's interesting. Um, Gender, right? In India, as far as I'm aware, women can be scientists. You know, there's no one thinks a woman can't work. Am I correct?
Yes, yes. In India, woman can achieve anything. But this is the family must need to support. Not all the family support for woman.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Um,
Because the parents they the thoughts is different. They say they feel maybe if you grow up once you grow up you married is better because you want to go study and upgrade self because the society is not much safety for women. So they always worry. Okay, maybe you married. I reduce my problem. You go and settle with your husband.
go and
Yes.
get married. Yeah.
Yes, yes. You married ready. That means I can wash my hand. You married because later your husband take care you. Maybe they,
Well, where I lived in Hull in England before I came here to Bulgaria, my next door neighbor was from India. Well, her family were from India. She was born, I think, in Britain. Now, I'm sure she was born in Britain. I don't know whether her husband was or not. Her kids were, but her mum, who lived at the other end of the street, and dad, they were born in India and came to England, and they both worked, both women worked. And do you know, it was the women that ruled the house. Yeah, that the man didn't say what went on in the house. The women told the men what happened in the house and what the men had to do, and to do the gardening and to cook the
Yes,
food.
yes.
It certainly wasn't the man who decided what went on in that house. Have you ever heard? Oh, I can see. Am I getting a little bit? Is that the sun? One moment. My camera's going really strange. Hang on a second. No, I think it's the sun. It's been really sunny here. Hang on, can I turn it a little bit? Yeah, I'll turn my monitor just a little bit because my camera's fixed to the top. I thought it was dirty for a moment. Yeah, have you heard the phrase when they say she wears the trousers in the house? The woman wears the trousers in the
She
house. Have
wears
you
the
heard that one?
trousers. I don't know what's the meaning. She
It
wears the
means the wife is the boss of the relationship.
this wife is the boss of the relationship. So the only relationship, or maybe leading the family. The meaning
Leading the
is
family,
leading the
yeah,
family.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Leading the relationship, the
The
family,
wife
because
is the
both of
boss of
those
the
ladies,
relationship. Yes, yes. She wears
both of
the
those
trousers.
ladies were Indian, and they were the
Yes, the
boss.
trousers.
Absolutely. In India, is it common for the lady to be the boss at home and the man doesn't argue?
Yes, yes. This is dominated. Because the male, maybe sometimes, how to say, the male is sometimes the activities, or maybe they're thinking, or maybe sometimes the men no leading. Some houses the ladies the leading. Maybe the domination with the, maybe the, how to say, the knowledge or the speaking skills and
The
decision making.
shouting skills, I think.
Decision making, because the important is the decision making, which is good for the family. So
Yeah,
this is, we cannot, in general, we cannot decide we cannot come to the conclusion in general. In the man is dominate or woman is dominate. Some family, the woman can dominate because they have the, how to say, they have the control power. Maybe they have
yeah,
the,
that kind of
yes,
personality,
yes, yeah,
maybe.
personality. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Indra, that was her name. Indra certainly did. Dil was her husband, and yeah, Dil just did what he was told.
Personality,
Indra
yes.
told him what to do.
Yes,
Okay.
personality means they have the, how to say, they know how to communicate with people, and how to
How to
manage,
organize everything.
organize.
Yeah.
Yes, organize and manage, and
Mm,
yes,
yeah.
some same thing. You see, some women become famous in politics.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
they only can because they have some extraordinary power and knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think me and my husband are pretty much 50-50. I definitely don't run the house. My husband works out all the bills. I remind him when to pay the bills, what to pay, but he works out the money for the bills. So it's sort of really 50-50, you know what I mean? He knows certain things that he needs to do in the house and to repair, and I know certain things that need doing. And we sort of just work it out together. So I think we're both really quite strong. I guess your wife must be really good at managing the house with you in Singapore, right? Does she have
yes,
any
yes,
help?
she can manage, but I always monitor what she do and whether it
Yeah.
is correct or not. But she take care my family very well. But uh, but still, I don't think still she can manage, means she always expect some my ideas and opinions.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, I always ask my husband for his opinion on stuff. Sometimes he gets annoyed at that, but I'm quite happy to make my own stuff. I just like to have other people's opinions, but I can just go and I've got no problem with just getting on and doing my own thing. I never have, but that's why I ask people's opinions, because sometimes I'm very strong and I just do what I want. and that's not always the best decision. Sometimes people have
Yes.
better ideas than you,
Yes,
right?
sometime we use this relationship for we need to avoid something. Okay, for example, somebody asks money or anything they ask from other people ask me money or anything. I can say, hey, my wife not allowed. I can use her. Because sometimes we need to use them. Otherwise, they can force you. Then I say, my wife didn't agree. I can't do that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, we have things where my husband would say, no, I don't want you to do that. And I would have things where I said to my husband, no,
Sometimes
I don't want to do that.
you
Yeah.
also really don't want. But if you don't dare to say that, then we can use the name. Hey, my wife don't agree, disagree.
Yes, you
We-
make this is what we say to make an excuse. So you oh
yes,
sorry, that
to
should
make
be make an excuse. Yeah. So in this case, you use your wife as an excuse. Oh, my wife doesn't want me to do that. I've done that with my husband before. And the Charlie's actually said to me, oh, just tell them your husband doesn't want you to do that. Because I've got to work late tonight on this project. I really don't want to do it. As a software engineer, sometimes if the management isn't very good, you've got to work late. And my husband would just say, oh, just tell them your husband has a party organized and he's really unhappy and you can't stay any longer than 7 o'clock or something. It's like, right, I'll do that. I'll use my husband as an excuse.
yes, yes.
What did, if you don't mind me asking, what did your mum and dad do? Because next thing is career choices of family members. What did your mum and dad work as?
Career choices.
Mm,
They always ask me to do the housework and farm. We have some land. They ask me to. We have some goats and cow on the time when I was child at home. Maybe they asked me to take care of the goats and cow. Maybe feeding. Cut the tree. We cut the tree and the leaf give to the goat.
yeah,
Something like that. But they always force me to study. Always force me to study. My father,
that sounds cool.
early morning, 4 a.m. He asked me to wake up, read books. Then he left. After he left, I slept. Then he again come back. He scold, but he forced me a lot to study. Always say study,
Good.
study, study. But I don't know. But I never studied. My concentration is distract. My mind was distracted.
Hmm.
I never focused study. So that is my mistake.
So was your dad a farmer then?
My father was a teacher.
A teacher? What did he teach?
School teacher. School teacher.
What what
Primary
subject did
school.
he teach?
Primary
Oh,
school.
primary
Primary
school.
school
Oh,
teacher.
how
All subjects.
cool.
Headmaster also. Primary school headmaster.
Wow, that's really cool. Oh, lucky you. What? And was your mum a housewife? Did she look after the
Yes, yes,
household or
yes.
did she have a job?
My mother was a housewife. My father was a
Yeah, it
housewife.
doesn't sound like a normal house though, because you've got goats and trees and there's a lot more work than just putting some
Yes,
clothes in the washing machine.
we are not. We are the middle class only. I think the village is middle class. We are not rich family because
Yeah.
we have only income. My father's salary. Uh,
Hmm.
40 years ago, the salary was not high. Salary is very low. Salary was
Yeah.
very low. Nowadays, the teacher salary is higher.
Mm.
In the past life, don't have high salary.
Yeah, yeah. My dad, we had a middle class life. We had a nice house with a big garden. We went on holidays abroad. My dad, my mum and dad are very, very clever. My dad worked for the post office before they had computers and worked out the wages and salaries. So he did all the maths for the big post office in that area. So yeah, he was very clever. And my mum was also very clever, but she just got a part-time job in a hospital. She used to program computers, but a long while ago at Cambridge University. She was a statistician. She was a mathematician. So there was this computer called EDSAC. Actually, I'll share a screen with you. I'll share the screen. I'll share that one. So that's the one I had up. I'll leave that on. I'll do EDSAC. So my mum, oh, I can put this back again now. The sun's gone down a bit. My mum used to program these sort of computers a long while ago at Cambridge University. Yeah, she used to do that lady's job. You see, that lady stood at a desk, and actually, I don't know if it was quite that lady. All the people used to queue up at the desk, and she used to feed the stuff into the computer. I know there's some pictures somewhere of what the women did. It wasn't quite like that. EDSAC programming. Let's have a look and see if we've got. I'm not going to find the picture now. Yeah, there it is. That's what my mum did. So all the people. Oh, look, there's someone from. There's a Sikh. And this was in the 60s. So these guys used to queue up, and my mum was the woman that, it was a woman's job. My mum was the woman that stood at the desk, and she put all the input into the computer. So that's what my mum used to do. And I think for me, if I just stop sharing, I think my mum, because they were so much into education, I think they watched documentaries. They didn't talk. I never had a choo-choo train or a bar lamb. It was a train or a lamb. Yeah, they always talked to me like an adult. And just because of that, I learned to read before I could go to school. And because they were clever and the way they talked and the things they watched, I just picked it up. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand your mother was doing some computer work.
Yeah, and my dad did
I think
mathematics.
I think in the past life, the computer, all the big equipments.
Oh, but 3 rooms,
Yes.
3 rooms for one
Yes,
computer, this one.
yes.
But my dad was also very, very good at mathematics. So I just think because of the television programs they watched and the language they used when they talked, I just started to pick up, you know, maths and how to read just because my family was clever, you know. Is that the same for you? Did you pick up things from your dad? You just sort of got things from what your dad was talking about?
Yes, my father was always talking about honest, must be honest in life. Don't like to people and don't cheating. Must be honest and respect. He don't like any illegal business or everything
Yeah.
must be legal and loyal. Like,
Do you think a people's personality affects the job they do? Because I was pretty good at computer programming. I came top of my class, but I just find just programming computers boring. I like teaching it because I like talking to people. So just sitting there on a computer, boring. But when I like to teach, because that's my personality, I like to talk to people. What do you think? Do you think your personality has influenced your career?
I think my personality means I'm very serious with anything, learning or if bad thing. If I smoke, I'm very serious. I buy many things, smoke. If I
Yeah, yeah.
drink, I drink always, or if gambling or anything I do very serious. If
You do
sometimes
it or you don't. Yeah.
yes. But so my personality means yes, I'm very serious, man. Anything I'm very serious, but sometimes the anything the I think the I'm not easily understand the new things, but need to focus many times to learn. and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I always talk the truth, but the truth always we talk the truth. um, I I believe I never believe I just lie and escape, because I heard from some Indian monk. His name is Vivekananda. Once he said that you need to tell the truth to, if you do any mistake, he say you tell the
Make a mistake.
truth
Yeah.
by card, truth by card, don't lie, because he say the lie never let you live well, the truth never let you die. So I
Huh.
only believe true, always talk truth. If I don't know, I must simply say I don't know. but
Don't know.
but
Yeah.
people are saying that is not strategy. If you don't know also, you say I can do, then you go and learn and pretend. Or maybe sometimes people, some other, okay, you are subordinate doing the things, you go and see everything, then come to the boss, they say I done, I am the one done. But I don't
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is the work politics or work colleagues. I don't
To
like this
take the
also.
credit.
Yes, yes,
No,
yes.
me neither. Me neither.
To
Yeah.
take the
Yeah.
credits, but I always honest and tell the truth. But the boss understand. I mean, he's a loyal person or truth person. The boss
Yeah.
understand, but the truth sometimes bitter. Somebody, if you always, because nowadays the people
Yes.
90% they lie. I don't know why they lie. Because the live
No.
life is very simple. Tell the truth. What do you have, you plan. Sometimes the people, why the life we struggle, because if you have $1,000, they plan for $10,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are
What?
you 9,000 you borrow from others. Then how your life, how life cannot be peaceful. So
You've got to pay it back. Yeah.
yes, so my thoughts is very simple. Okay, you tell the truth, whether you like or not like. I tell the truth. And another thing, I can plan my life for what my ability. I never overlooking. If maybe I have no money, I get money from loan shark or pay back the interest.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
This all trouble the life.
Yes. Yeah. So we call it um, to live within your means. You don't borrow. I don't borrow money anymore. I used to, because that's the way you lived in Britain, because everything's so expensive. I paid everything off before I came here, and I live within my means. I don't get credit. I don't have loans. I either save the money and buy it, or I don't have it. It's real simple. So yeah, I'm like that with you. And do you think, I mean, the next box is religion or culture, and do you think that's part of the religious beliefs or the culture of India that says you should be honest, or do you think it's not Indian culture? Do you think that's more your personality?
No, Indian culture, no, how to say that, the literature or the books or the ancient books, or we have some great books. I don't know how to say. In India, have the Ramayanam and Mahabharatam. These two books is
The
here.
Mahabharat, yeah.
Mahabharatam and Ramayanam. This all have
Okay.
books. We have the books, the
Uh-huh.
stories. So these books educated to people how to live, which is you need to avoid. You can try to read also Mahabharatam and Ramayana, very interesting stories. Inside got many stories.
Yes. That's so are they like fables or parables? These kind of stories tell you a story about someone who made a bad decision or made a good decision and why
Yes,
it was
yes,
a
yes,
bad or a good.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
these books no give you directly advice. They give some the characters, what they did, what they happened.
Yes. That's what we call
Mm,
parables or
yes,
fables.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
These
Oh,
two,
cool.
these two
I like
story,
those.
yes, these two stories. This is I think Indians. I think the very grateful. I don't know what is how to explain elaborate much. These two books is Indian culture. You can reveal
Mhm.
the Indian cultures and ethics. We need to follow the ethics. They're teaching the ethics. If you go to the good way, you get the good thing. If you go to bad way, you get the bad things.
You bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Like
the
karma.
Ramayanam, simply say the Ramayanam, the king fall in love with the other man's wife. He kidnapped the
Oh
other's
dear.
wife. So this is one, the king from Sri Lanka. He kidnapped the Indian emperor wife to his country. So this is the
Oh.
story. Then become the
Mhm.
war. The war would happen. The war happened. So finally they kill the person, the king. So this is the story. You cannot. That means you cannot fall in love with the other's wife. So
Yes.
it
Yes.
is
We call
morally.
it the
mm,
moral of this story.
yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
what I
yes.
was
Moral
just
of this
going to
story.
say. Yes.
Yes, but Maghabharatam is talking about gambling. How
Oh,
dangerous the
interesting.
gambling. Yes, you can find out the book and read. It is very interesting.
Magabaram and
Maghabharatam. You don't see the.
Magabardam.
Yes, compared to movie or TV show, you read the books, you can elaborate because
Oh,
the
yeah.
the book
I
the
prefer
book your
books.
own imagination. You can develop your own imagination. That is different.
Yes.
If somebody saw the show, maybe they narrate is after that your imagination is never grow if you see the
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
No,
that's
I
why,
prefer to read the
yeah,
books.
Maghabharatam really interested book. If you find the English version,
Magabardam.
yes, you
There
can.
will be somewhere, but absolutely there will be.
Yes, yes.
um, Let me have a look at some of the other questions. How many jobs? I'm going to go to number 4 because I know because this is a talking part. This first bit. How many jobs do you think you will have in your life?
How many jobs? I already in village, when I was in village already, I do construction works, construction helpers, mason help for masons and some shop assistant. Now after
Oh
I
yeah,
once I
me
once
too.
I once I came Singapore, Singapore I was a general worker. Then I promoted. I was a driver. Now I am a supervisor. I think
Hmm.
my career is only the supervisor, construction supervisor. Maybe when I move to India, I do some restaurant business. I would like to
So do
do
you
some
think
business.
you would like to finish being a supervisor, say in the next 10 years? Would you
Yes.
like to
I
finish?
don't. My company asked me to promote, but I say I don't want. They
Oh,
promote.
really?
They want to promote me as a manager or
Uh-huh.
assistant project manager. I say I don't want because if they just promote, they give more job.
Yeah, you have more stress, more
Then more
work.
stress. More stress.
Hmm.
You cannot think anything. You always think about work.
Yeah,
More stress.
no, not good, not good.
Not good for health.
So do you think, say, in 5 years' time, you won't work in Singapore anymore, and maybe you would
I think
like us
after
to
in
be?
5 years time, I won't work Singapore. I move to India. I do some business because
That would be good.
yes, I don't want after 50 because now 47 years old. After 50, I
Hmm.
still don't want to work in abroad. Need to move with family.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. When I got to 40, it was like, I've had enough of working really hard for the university work is actually quite hard and you can work very long hours and you do a lot of research and you have to keep studying to be better and better and you can't stop. You always have to keep getting more information. Um, and it's like, no, I've had enough. I wasn't even seeing my husband. Yeah. So that's why we changed when I was 40 and I'm doing more online learning. And yeah, I'm doing English teaching instead of computer programming. Um, are there any jobs? Well, you've already said you didn't want to be promoted.
Yes,
Apart
yes.
from not being promoted, are there any jobs you would refuse to do? It doesn't matter how much someone would pay you. Are there any jobs you just say, no way, I'm not doing that job? Like, I would never want to be a project manager ever because it's
Yes,
too
yes.
stressful. Are there any jobs like that you would never want to be?
No, no, no. I previously because I started from lower level, general worker, then driver, and so the job I never, because we choose the job also always which is I can do, which is I cannot do. I never
Yes.
enter, never enter the field. Mm.
Yeah, can't be an astronaut or a
Yes,
diver.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, me too. Yeah.
yes, yes. Because you join ready, you want to go to work. I say this one cannot, this one cannot. I don't think it is a correct way. Before join, I think myself, if I can do, I join the job.
Yeah.
Mm,
I know what you mean. So
yes, yes,
basically, the kind of jobs that you wouldn't do for if as long as you can do the jobs, you don't want to have stressful jobs anymore.
yes,
Would
yes.
that be
I
right to
don't.
say?
Yes, yes. Don't want stressful. Yes, yes. Because
Hmm.
this is affected our health.
Yeah, exactly.
More stress.
Exactly.
More stress than the health issue. Sure, come heart. Already I have heart problem. I do.
Yes, I remember you saying that's why you had to lose a lot of weight and take some time off and things like that. Um, I'm exactly the same. I mean, I'm 52, 53 next year. I don't want any more stress, and I just want a nice life. I like teaching like I do. I've got my dog. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I want to spend more. In fact, I mean, I was talking to my husband. He said, right, you should start doing less work now. Think of giving up. Because I work for 3 companies. Maybe think of giving up one of the companies and just work for 2 of the companies. He said, we've got enough money.
Mm.
I just want to do 2 more years. Next year, well, 1.5 years. It's only till next summer. So 1.5 years of hard work because I want the money to do a building project above my office.
Mm.
Once I've done that, yeah, I think I will, but I'd like to try and keep going. But we'll see. Sometimes I get very tired. Um, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah. Well, I think we've come to a good point where, yeah, because the next page, we've sort of talked about the other questions. The next page is where we start doing some vocabulary and pronunciation of that vocabulary. So would you like to do any homework, or would you like to just wait until next week? I don't know how busy you are. Would you like to wait until
Yes,
next
I
week and do
think
question
yes,
2?
yes, yes. Next week we do.
Yeah, we'll carry on with this and do question 2 because it
Okay.
actually mixes up. You can see the words have got like underlined, so it tells you how to pronounce the word. There's probably some new vocabulary and some pronunciation, so it sort of mixes up everything. Cool.
Yes.
That's what we will do then. Right. So I will see you same time next week, providing no one dies. There isn't a major event.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, hopefully up until Christmas. So it's another what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I can't remember. How long is it that we've got? So this is
So
today.
next week, no problem, right? Can continue
Yeah,
this
yeah.
next week.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. I wanted to continue last week, but next week, the week after, yeah, we've got 2 more weeks, and then I take my Christmas break, I think for
Okay.
about 3 weeks, actually, because of where Christmas comes. So 2 more weeks, and then I'll have a Christmas break, and then we start again for the new year.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Shan. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you again.
Nice to see
Take
you again.
care.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you
Bye
next
bye.
week. Bye.
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 Bye.